Am I the asshole for eating the berries on my neighbor's bush? Our houses' yards are separated by fences. My next-door neighbor has an excessive amount of bushes and trees, many of which go into our yard. My entire border along their house is covered with their trees and bushes that have branches going into our yard. We've had disputes in the past when I cut their tree branches that were blocking our pathways and HTEY got pissed off. AITA is the problem is they have a massive bush which extends like 2 feet into our yard over and through the fence. It drops barriers and raccoons, birds and rats and other shit go there and eat them. It also gets sticky and I don't like a ton of berries just laying on the floor here. My wife and I decided to just eat the barriers, so we got a bucket and picked all the barriers that were growing on our side of the fence. Our next-door neighbors got pissed off and told us to stop and they'd call the WA and I told them to go ahead. I couldn't give any less of a shit. By law, I can modify a plant if it extends into my property. I can legally eat their barriers which are growing onto my land. She tried to stop me but it was too late, we had recovered all the barriers. She then went on a massive rant on Facebook and Nextdoor about it, calling us the berry thieves and how horrible neighbors we are and saying we're a bunch of stupid dirty towel head Allah loving goatfuckers, right before posting about how racist Trump is. I'm a Coptic Christian and my wife is Yazidi. Fucking hell, how some people are so stupid. Ha 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 NTA. You should make jam or pies out of those berries and offer it to the entire neighborhood except them.
Not the asshole. Don't want your neighbor eat your berries? Then don't have your berries on their property.
Greater than she then went on a massive rant on Facebook. Not the asshole. You're not breaking any rules at all. Make sure you screenshot that rant just in case you need it for future evidence. And if you happen to know where she works, I'm sure her employers would love to see what a racist they have on their payroll.
Not the asshole. In my country you would legally be correct. In my opinion you are morally correct. If you can share your airspace, neighbor can share her berries. And sheesh to her racist rants. Maybe if you two wear your bathroom towels on your heads when you berry pick, this might be enough to convince her to move out. Not the asshole. Call the WA yourselves and say you are removing any vegetation on your property and also report her calling you a slur. This is unacceptable.
Not the asshole. If she wants you to not touch them then she should cut them back herself so they don't overhang.
Major, not the asshole. Your neighbor sounds fucking vile. If she doesn't want you eating then maybe just pick them and throw them over the fence lol.
Not the asshole. Her Facebook ranting is unsurprising given her entitled "get off my lawn" that's actually your lawn BS. How was she going to get the berries on your property anyway? Trespass. Keep up the harvesting. Not the asshole. If they're growing into your space, it's up to you what you do with them.
Not the asshole. Leaving fruit to fall in your garden to rot and attract wildlife is a massive hassle. Good on you for making use of the berries instead of taking a machete to those overextending branches and throwing them over the fence. Why are you posting here? Do you have the slightest doubt you did something wrong?
Not the asshole. However, I know where I am. If I cut or remove things from a plant, I'm required to return it to the owner. Hence, if I trim an overhanging tree, particularly a fruit tree, I'm supposed to drop the branches back into their yard.
Not the asshole. Get a survey done. Learn the specific code in the laws in your area about plants, trees. This is a huge deal that often comes up in our legal advice. I have to also suggest our fuck her or I hate them. Please take pictures of the offending trees and plants prior to cutting them down and email them to yourself to have a timestamp to document it.
Definitely not the asshole. The berries are on your side.
Greater than saying we're a bunch of stupid dirty towel head Allah loving goatfuckers, right before posting about how racist Trump is. This is over the top and I don't believe this happened.
Not the asshole. There are two options. 1. That your region is the same as mine. If it's on your side of the fence, then it's your property, in which case, you're entitled to do as you wish, as long as it is on your side of the fence. 2. Your region differs from mine and ownership responsibility is determined by where the plant tree is rooted. In which case, your neighbors should take better care of their garden so that it doesn't encroach. In either case, not the asshole. Edit. Poster below helpfully clarifies U.S. law re. ownership of fruit.
Not the asshole. What falls from plants over the property line belongs to you.
Not the asshole. Sorry you had to go through that. Perhaps you could contact the police for their racism. Additionally, I don't know what you can do where you live as I am in the UK, but perhaps you can report them for their unkept trees and how it is affecting your property. I do have a petty option. Cut back all the bush tree branches that cross into your garden and leave it in a bag outside their door so they cannot say you have stolen from them. But you sound more mature than me. Or just throw the cuttings over your fence into their garden.
You are the asshole for making a post where you are clearly not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Your property, your berries. This is nothing like sneaking into her yard or reaching over the fence.
It would be a shame if that racist rant were to be sent to her employer.
Not the asshole. They're pissed when you cut the tree branches in your yard, and they also get pissed when you leave them and eat the berries that drop in your yard. Lol, it's amazing how some people's brains work.
WTF is a barrier. Greater than I can legally eat their barriers which are growing onto my land. Actually, it depends on where you live, but it's likely that no, you can't legally do this. Greater than if the trunk of a fruit tree is on your neighbor's property, the tree and the fruit it bears belong to them, even if fruit-laden branches overhang your property. I'm not saying you're the asshole, necessarily. But you may very well legally be in the wrong. Wrong sub. This is our petty revenge material.
Not the asshole. In fact, you should return the favor. During the winter months you should start growing some lovely peppers. Specifically some lovely sweet Carolina Reapers. When spring comes you should plant then along the fence. Not too close mind you, and just, well, let nature take its course. Not the asshole. But I take it she didn't call Wah? You comment on her Facebook rant, you would love Wah, you get involved.
You're lucky she didn't plant lemon trees. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. If it's in your yard then yeah, you're very nice for not trimming it back. If you can't trim it then you're entitled to some damn fruit. P.S. Remember lemon stealing whores? I'm picturing that, but berries.
Not the asshole. Your neighbor is ignorant.
Not the asshole, but be careful cutting trees. Tree law is real and can fuck you over.
Obviously not the asshole, it's on your property.
Not the asshole. It's worse that good fruit goes to waste. If they don't want to share the fruit, they should take better care of their plants, cut the branches and pick all the fruit. This said, I think they only want to fight and make drama because of their racism.
Obviously, she'd rather have raccoons eat the berries than non-Christians. Tell her, since you're going to hell anyways by her judgment, you can do whatever you want, as long as it's legal by law. Not the asshole. Obviously.
Not the asshole, but what berries were they? Blackberries.
Not the asshole. By law, I can modify a plant if it extends into my property. I think this is true almost anywhere. Now that the berries have been recovered, I would shear off everything of hers that protrudes 0.5 into your property, because you can. Take pictures before you do so, and if you social media it, say it was out of concern for the vermin you've seen eating the berries, and you're concerned for the children in the neighborhood and want to do your part to keep them safe. That should shut up the busybodies.
Not the asshole. I cut anything that comes over my fence down. Your neighbors are jokes.
Not the asshole. If your evil racist neighbor wants her berries, then you have full permission to cut off everything growing on your side and throw it back over the hedge. Not the asshole. Their behavior is atrocious.
What awful people. You are deaf, not the asshole. They are complete and utter assholes and racist to boot. Sucks to have bad relations with your next door neighbors, but this one looks hard to fix.
Not the asshole. Make some berry pastries and share them with your other neighbors.
Need to set up chairs facing her and have the bucket of berries to eat while she's outside and just stare at her and munch. Not the asshole. The berries were on your property.
Not the asshole. They are the assholes. Nothing you've written about them is redeemable. I'm Middle Eastern too. 1. Fuck them for being racist. 2. Fuck them for thinking they can get away with whatever they want by letting their tree and bush grow into your property. 3. Fuck them for thinking they have the authority to control what you do to the berries that fall onto your yard. You could call WA and they'll force them to cut their bush and tree to where it's off your property.
Not the asshole. Your neighbor's plants were growing onto your property, they got angry when you tried to remove the obstacles that their plants pose in your yard, and the berries from the bush growing into your yard is attracting unwanted attention from the animals as well as making everything generally unpleasant for you. Since it is on your property, you have every right to take the berries on your side of the fence, which is exactly what you did. Not the asshole, and definitely not a berry thief.
Not the asshole. It's on your property. If she doesn't want you messing with her bushes, she needs to ask to get over there and trim them back over to her side of the fence and maintain them so they stay there. We actually have a couple of spots of overgrowth on the edge of our property we haven't had a chance to get to yet. Muscadines started taking it over, so now I just decided to wait till they're ripe and we pick them before I cut it all down to figure out what to do with everything under the vines. I'm not sure if any of it is over the property line or not, but honestly wouldn't care if the neighbor kids decided to grab some once they ripen. Less mess on the ground and wasps going after the overripe muscadines if I don't get to them all myself before they get to that point. Lol.
Lol what? Would they be okay with your just trimming it back then? But no eating the berries. Not the asshole. They need to prune their bush.
Not the asshole, but please be careful. People can be spiteful, so always wash your berries before eating them.